with Scott Robertson's Music Biz Marketing Strategies. Now, here's your host, Scott Robertson.
Hey everybody, happy Friday. You are tuned to May the Best Brand Win on Entertalk Media, the undisputed leader in music biz talk. I am Scott, your happy host, and a man who thinks they probably shouldn't have made a movie out of the Broadway musical Cats. I think it's just too freaky for people. I think it's just the human faces, the weirdness of strangely being attracted to a large human-like cat, I think is odd for people. It's odd, and I think that that's why you're seeing the box office ridicule that you have seen from that movie so far.
Are you strangely attracted to cat-faced women, Scott? Is that what's happening here?
Yeah. I think, I feel ashamed about it. I'm attracted to Taylor Swift as a cat, and then I'm ashamed of it, and then I'm like, I don't understand these feelings that I'm feeling.
That's probably that was the purpose of the production. That's their mission accomplished.
With me on the air here is Paul B. He's a man who likes cats, but the real ones, the real actual cats, not the ones played by Taylor Swift and Jennifer Hudson. I don't imagine you're going to see the cats, just from what I know about you, Paul.
I doubt it, unless somebody makes me for some reason. Or now I'm curious. Now I'm curious to and a little scared. Maybe I'll be confused also.
You will definitely be confused. If you, listening audience, if you want to find something really funny, there's a story that came out yesterday that said 15 of the worst of the best quotes about bad reviews that have come out from the Cats movie, and they critics have really outdone themselves in trying to describe this movie, and I urge you to go find that story and check it out for yourself. It is very entertaining, and it certainly will give you everything that you need to know.
You don't have a sample? You don't have a sample quote?
What was the one that made me laugh yesterday? It said that it was one of them said it was the greatest waste of time in the history of modern cinema. That was a solid one.
Ouch.
Another one said that human faces do not belong on animals. It's just they apparently there's a family of cockroaches who have human faces, and that one person tweeted, "I have seen things that I should not have seen." But I encourage you to check out that story. It's pretty damn funny. All right. Oh, man. So who am I, what I do, how do you reach me, all that fun stuff. I am Scott Robertson. I run a PR and marketing and branding firm called Robertson Communications in Orange County, California. How do you reach me? You send me an email to scott@robertsoncom.com, 2 M's in like communications, so robertsoncom, 2M's.com. Also, you can catch me on Facebook at robertsoncom.com, facebook.com/robertsoncom, and my Twitter handle, which will come as no surprise, being that they're a family of things, is at robertsoncom, again, 2 M's for communications. And, I am, as of last week, I completed Donald Miller's Story Brand program, so I'm now a certified Story Brand guide. It's like being like James Bond with a license to kill, but I have like a license to market. Which is not as cool, but still, that's a good analogy. So I have like a license to do the things that in the Story Brand program that I really like. So I can create better brand stories, website wireframes, sales copy, and of course, works so great for PR as well for my clients. So anyway, look me up if you read the book and you're, don't want to do all that work yourself. I can do that work. That's what I do. There you go. So, anywho, you guys tuned into a good one. This is episode 143 of The Big Show, and why I call it Why Everyone Deserves Great Marketing But Doesn't Get It. To me, marketing should always be great. We're supposed to be telling powerful stories about the customer's favorite subject in the world, themselves and their own needs. So they're locked in. Believe me, you want to tell me a story about me? I'm in. I like stories about me. And I can admit that. A lot of people can't admit that, and they sit on the therapist's couch and log that right after the problem of being strangely attracted to Taylor Swift dressed up as a cat. So, but when you look at the thousands of marketing messages that bombard us every single day, they are telling a very different story, a confusing story all about the company that's being told and its needs. And they really don't even mention you or your problems or your story or anything like that. Big old problem, huge, big ass disconnect, huge, massive. So we are going to talk about it. We're going to drill into it. And before it's over, Santa Scott, I'm going to leave you with some useful tips on how to create really great marketing in 2020. So this is going to be another potentially amazing episode of the show. You tuned into a great one. Let's dig into why marketing is so bad. Let's go to a live feed of my inbox, my personal inbox, and let's just hit some subject headlines and let me show you why marketing is so bad. There's a company called 1776 United that I bought a really cool shirt from this week, and now they email me at regular intervals. The first one comes from them. It says, "Last chance," in all caps. "Get your first month for $5. Ends at midnight." I don't even know what are we talking about. I mean, I don't know what this is. I don't know why I'm interested. I don't get that. What a terrible email with a terrible subject line. That's stupid. I mean, I have to say that. Big Lots sent me one. "It's a grab bag of clearance deals. Only 5 shopping days left. Only 5 shopping days left." So our story, for if you're Big Lots, is about pricing and urgency, that you haven't done what you're supposed to do yet, and now you're in trouble. Those kind of things. I got one from Harley Davidson online store, and it says, "Need last minute gift ideas?" I got one today from Postmates. "You've got free delivery." That's actually pretty close, because my favorite word in the world is used in the subject headline. What's my favorite word in the world? You. That's right. Me. If I'm saying it, it's my favorite subject is me. And this is talking to me. And it says, "You've got free delivery." I might open that email. I might open that. I got a thing from a healthcare company. It says, "Missed open enrollment?" ? I don't know. It's just this is marketing, right? This is what marketing. iPhone 5S unlocked for $54 plus free shipping. Save 3% on all Uber rides with Apple Card. Last minute gift ideas. All the kind of things. This is why marketing is so bad, right? They're trying too hard to sell me. And yet the best way to sell me is to write a story that's about me in some way, that involves me in some way, and hook me in with some kind of story that's going to be interesting to me. But instead we just settle for all the sales funnel things. We settle for all the, hey, if one email is great, then 1,000 must be fantastic. And it's super fantastic until I hit the unsubscribe button and you're dead to me forever. Which people do, by the way. And coming soon, as of January 1st or 2nd, 2020, you could be easily sued for misusing consumer data in the state of California when the California Consumer Privacy Act goes online at the beginning of this year, January 2nd, I believe. So, marketing is so bad because it tries too hard to sell people, yet it uses the wrong trigger to sell you, and it's not about you. The creative is generally very, very poor quality. Let's look at all this. This email. I'm going to do a story later and talk about why email is so great. But my own inbox is overflowing with garbage. It's overflowing with garbage because people have to get something out. They realize by pinging me, they have like a 1 in 100,000 chance that I might open it, and I might, engage in some kind of action. And that 1 in 100,000 chance is enough for them. But it should not be enough for them. Creative work is important. Starting with a story is important. Being able to engage people around the brand and talk to them about their favorite subject themselves and aren't they awesome, and don't you look great, and have you lost weight, and man, you look great in those pants, and stuff like that. That's what people are interested in. And people are like, Scott, well, that's just stroking people's ego. Yeah. I don't have a psychology degree, but I'm pretty damn sure that would work. I got to say, right there. Just knowing what I know about people, that would work a lot. Huge. Start doing it. Figure it out. Okay? The creative can be much better. You know, that's why when we see something that is even remotely creative, we're like, oh my God, marketing did something creative. I can't even believe it. You know, another reason why marketing is so bad, the frequency of sending stuff is way too much. It's way too much. You know, these people email me on a daily basis in a desperate attempt to get me to open the email and click on it and do something, you know. And somewhere along the line, they bought a bill of goods that said that that you must email people bunches and bunches of times because people are stupid and distracted and everything else, and they won't do what you need them to do. However, again, there is a, you know, there's a point where people are going to unsubscribe to you and realize that you're not, you know, you're not doing things the right way. Too much frequency, too many. You know, and people say this all the time. Well, Scott, you say all the time, you know, if you're uncomfortable sending out, first of all, you should be uncomfortable bothering people that much. And second of all, when it hits your threshold, you need to think about, you know, are we doing stuff for them or are we doing stuff for us? And it does, and really, it doesn't even have a link back to them. That kind of thing. And that's why, and every email in my inbox is about them. Let's do another, just a quick look at the inbox just so we can have this. So, you know, again, we have last chance, get your first month free, you know, $5. Well, that benefits them. You know, it's a grab bag of clearance deals, only 5 shopping days left. Maybe that benefits me. I mean, I don't know, but it's really quite a bit about them. You know, everything in my inbox today is about them. Is really about them and what they want to sell me. Last minute gifts, that's about them. They want to last minute sell me something. You know, none of this stuff's about me. You know, the only thing, Postmates was the only one that mentioned that had the U word in there. U word's really important. You know, that's a trigger word for narcissistic human beings. Works very well. Think about it. Add it. That's what I'd say. Another reason why marketing is so bad on my list, my naughty list, I guess. Another reason why it's so bad is that companies spy on you in really creepy ways, and they have zero moral compass about it. You know, they have zero problems. You know, when Mark Zuckerberg got up in front of Congress, you saw a guy that was like perfectly comfortable with taking all the data that you've populated his social network with and selling it to advertisers and basically like, people have a right to that data. I mean, it was such a foreign concept to him. It was so far off of his moral compass. He had no idea why people were upset. You know, but people get upset because we don't like to be spied on. We don't like to be spied on, and we don't like the data to be sold. And again, that's why you have so much legislation coming at you soon that is designed to protect you, the consumer, but really is all about punishing marketers and social networks that use your data in really creepy fashions that you may or may not realize and know about. Now, marketing doesn't have to be this way. These are choices. Google made choices to do this. Facebook made choices to do this. This wasn't just like, oh, damn, we didn't even know we were spying on you and selling the data. We didn't know that. It's like, you know you're doing it. You know, and while we all say that Facebook should be able to make a fair profit and those kind of things, it's all about disclosure, right? If you disclose what you're doing to people with people's data and that kind of thing, then it's no longer very creepy. You're like, okay, I get it. You're taking my data. You're gonna do this, and then I have a way to either opt out or get rid of it and those kind of things. You know, I mean, you know. When marketers talk about the customer journey, you know, and they talk about, hit customers on their mobile devices through every part of the customer journey and this kind of thing. Very few of them understand that customers don't want you to understand their journey. You know, it's really none of your business. It's they're out there shopping, And unless you have consent, you don't have the right to bother them while they're shopping. I know that's a foreign concept for a lot of marketers, the idea of not having the right to communicate with people. But you earn the right to communicate with your audience by being useful and valuable to them, right? You are useful and valuable to them, and then they allow you to be in their lives. That's how it works. I've sat next to some marketers that just think that just look at a list of their targets and who and this kind of thing, and they don't even think about these people as people. That is extraordinarily dangerous for the marketing profession. We're supposed to be in the relationship building business, and these people are people. Like you, like you're a person, they're people too. There you go. And now we're having a conversation. And that's when you use that whole conscience thing and that whole empathy thing in a really powerful way. And then you go back and you go, I don't think we should have marketing automation and sending people 5 emails a day. I don't think we should. I don't think we ought to do that. I think it's wrong. There you go. Now, congratulations. You've taken a pro-privacy stance in your marketing. I love it. The last reason that I wanted to cover about why marketing is so bad is really there's fewer journalistic gatekeepers. A lot of things that you guys read as journalism are actually just paid placements by somebody. PR now outnumbers journalists 6-1. There are 6 of us, public relations practitioners, for every 1 working journalist. That's the biggest disparity that's ever existed in the history of journalism and the history of public relations, and you see it. You see, it's a shame because their journalism has done so poorly financially over the past decade or two that there's really fewer journalistic gatekeepers out there to keep all the to really sort of tell the truth or their opinion or whatever about what they're doing and sort of keep the marketing out. Now even your news feed is just populated with bad marketing too. And we're talking about why everybody deserves great marketing but doesn't get it here today on May the Best Brand Win. Come on back. We're going to talk about who's winning and losing right here before Christmas. See you in a few.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
This is Jackie Bertoni from Jackie's Groove. Come join me weekly on my journey through the music business as I take you behind the velvet rope, interviewing industry notables such as Al Di Meola, Michael McDonald, and Al Jarreau, to name but a few. Listen to their stories on being in the studios recording #1 hits and onto the stages throughout the globe. Allow me to be your music historian. You can hear me live every Monday at 2 p.m. and every Wednesday at 12 noon Pacific Standard Time or 24/7 on jackiesgroove.com. Ready to get your groove on?
Hi, I'm Tim Dolbear, the host of Sound Experience on Entertalk Radio. Each week, I talk with top professional audio engineers, producers, musicians, and the manufacturers that make the tools that we use in the studio each and every day. From capturing the perfect take to mastering your final release, and the tools and how the pros use them, we are going to dive deep into their process and learn from their experience. I look forward to you joining us each week on Sound Experience with me, your host, Tim Dolbear.
Make this your vinyl night. I'm John J.R. Robinson, and every week, music creation comes alive through stories, experiences, and sounds when vinyl records filled our hearts and minds. My friends and I share our tips and techniques used in creation of iconic tracks for recording artists such as Michael Jackson, Eric Clapton, Quincy Jones, and Steve Winwood, to name a few. Vinyl has emerged hot, and the soul of vinyl defines art and passion which burns deepest at night. Tune in every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on EntertalkRadio.com.
May the best brand win with Scott Robertson's Music Biz Marketing Strategies. Now, here's your host, Scott Robertson.
Hey, everybody. It is Friday, and you are so smart because you are tuned to May the Best Brand Win on Entertalk Media, the undisputed leader on Music Biz Talk. I am Scott, your host. We're talking about why marketing is bad. Paul B. So much bad marketing, right? It's everywhere.
It's all bad.
It's all bad. I mean, the vast majority of it is just kind of throwaway garbage, you know. And it's just we got to do better, you know. Well, people are going to be making money pretty soon. The government's suing people for over communicating.
Yeah, I guess the sad part is that, you know, some of it must work if you're just playing the numbers, even if your marketing is garbage, but you pump it out to enough people. You know, that's like, I'm always amazed at, like, why do people still bother with robocalling? Like, who does that work on?
I know, right? It's robocalling such a huge. Actually, I have a story about robocalling come up. It's a good segue. We'll hit that one in a minute. Let's dig into who's winning and losing this week, folks. So, you know, Twitter users this week shared their most hated commercials with the hashtag ads that should be pulled, which I found pretty funny. And there was a story on campaignlive.com. I think Adweek covered it as well, and it talked about. But definitely check out the hashtag ads that should be pulled if you want to see. But there's some really really good ones. Basically, I'll give you some of the top ones. That completely unrelatable GMC ad with the financially secure young couple frolicking amongst their two luxury cars outside their weirdly large home. You know, where she buys them sunglasses and she's like, it's like red and black, and then they go out forever. There's like they've bought themselves two completely tricked out, you know, giant GMC ads or whatever. It's so funny. She's like, I want the red or I want the black one. I love it. That kind of thing. It's like completely unrelatable. Oh my God. Another one is they talked about KFC's Colonel and doing the ghost scene with Aunt Jemima. Or Mrs. Butterworth. Sorry, Mrs. Butterworth. For the Mrs. Butterworth's chicken and waffles thing. KFC never realized the fact that they have a colonel dressed like an Old South colonel, you know, when they talked about this, they said, didn't plantation owners bring slaves in the house like this around the late 1800s? The elephant in the room is that the KFC's colonel and his ties to slavery are like blatantly right in your face. I didn't really put that together, but I see it. I definitely see it now. It's crazy. Another one was State Farm. Democratizing the man cave, talking about the she shed that catches on fire and that kind of thing. I thought that was that's pretty funny. How about they talk about the Charmin bears? And I agree, the Charmin bears that needs to stop. How about the painfully awkward bears whose lives revolve around wiping their butts? That's a good one too, man. That's a really good one. Oh man. And then the Taco Bell play on an Instagram boyfriend is a big swing and a miss in Twitter's eyes. This Taco Bell Sunset Hands commercial, I hate it with every fiber of my being. Oh my God, there's so many I can't even go through it. So the one about Cologuard mascot who wants you to mail in your poop, that kind of thing. It's classic. But make sure you go check out the hashtag and the feed around ads that should be pulled. The internet will always tell you what they think, especially if they can do it anonymously. Absolutely. Oh, let's move on. So anyway, all those ads are losing. All kinds of losing. You know who else is losing is the ACLU. They are losing their minds. They reported a story this week. I'll say this one slowly because there's a lot of stupid in it, and it's hard to get through it and really understand what they're saying. The ACLU, the American Civil Liberties Union, has now called for tampons to be placed in men's restrooms in order to achieve what they describe as, in quotes, menstrual equity. Okay, so they're calling for this to prevent discrimination against every person who menstruates. Here's the quote. While menstrual products are not uniformly provided in women's restrooms, they're almost never available in men's restrooms, even for pay. Right. There is a reason for that. It is a biological reason, actually. I mean, there are some things that you, when you read and you realize are happening in your world, you're like, that's just too incredibly off the charts stupid for anyone to ever make a stand on that, right? I mean, my presumption is there is a woman who identifies as a man, uses the men's room, which is not going to be a good experience for you. It's not. They're skanky. They're disgusting. I play in a bar band. I avoid the bathrooms. There is a river of urine. There is a river of urine on the floor. Okay? You want to avoid the men's bathrooms big time, hard. It's a hard pass for you. And if you're a woman who didn't grow up walking around in a men's bathroom, you're not going to understand the level of skank that's going on in that place. You're just not. You're not going to understand it. So you shouldn't be there. I mean, I got to tell you, for your own good, to be honest. So let's say the ACLU, my goodness, they want to have tampons in men's bathrooms, which just from a marketing perspective, that's got to play to, I don't know, 0.0000001% of people who use a men's bathroom. I mean, could it even approximate being even like 0.1%? I mean, I don't even think it could even be 0.1. So, why do you suggest stupid things that aren't going to affect people who probably don't even see it as a problem anyway? I mean, there's a lot of stupid in the world. I say it a lot, and it seems like the world's getting just dumber and dumber and dumber with every passing year. And that could be because I'm getting older. It could be. But, 2020, I would love to see us return to things that aren't so incredibly, monumentally, ridiculously stupid that we could possibly, I don't know, have a conversation about things in a logical way. There's nothing here that makes any sense to me, at least. ACLU, you're losing big time. And if I go into the men's restroom and there's a tampon dispenser there, I mean, I don't know what I would do with that. I mean, I don't know what anyone would do with that. I definitely don't know what I would do with that in that restroom. And once again, just as a public service announcement, you want to avoid those restrooms if you can. Let's talk about who's winning. So YouTube released its top earners list, and there is a kid on there, an 8-year-old who hosts a channel that reviews toys and conducts science experiments for kids, Ryan Kaji, who hosts the very popular YouTube channel Ryan's World. He generated an estimated $26 million in revenue of YouTube's, according to Forbes' annual list of YouTube stars pulling in the most cash. And he made the top spot on last year's list with $22 million. Dude Perfect is the 5-man sports crew. They made $20 million. They do all kinds of goofy sports stunts, a lot of kind of fun things. And then Russian-born 5-year-old Anastasia Redesnskaya came in third at $18 million. Wow. He has 20. So Ryan, this kid Ryan, he has 23 million subscribers, and he's generated more than 34 billion video views since joining YouTube. And this is all monetized and that kind of fun stuff. So wow. He's built quite an empire at eight years old. That's all kinds of winning, right? That can't be anything but winning. That is all kinds of awesome winning. Congratulations to Ryan and for building up his channel. And we hope his parents don't. I hope the money doesn't corrupt his family, which is likely, I would say. We talked about robocalls. Paul said he's really annoyed by robocalls coming up. Senate passed a bill. They just sent it to the president. The Senate on Thursday passed a bill that cracks down on robocalls, a persistent and costly problem for Americans. The bill is one of several measures that the federal and state governments and telecom industry are taking to protect Americans from the billions of scam calls made each month. So that's kind of interesting. The bill passed the House earlier this month. It requires phone companies to offer free call blocking apps. I have a paid one, by the way, called Nomo Robo, which is great, and they're gonna verify that the number calling you is real. It's an issue because the fraudsters they fake numbers to look as though they're coming from the IRS or other people to trick you. So now they're going to be able to say this number is real or this number is fake, that kind of thing. This is all kinds of winning for us. If you're a marketer and you're robocalling in your arsenal, you should look at 2020 as an opportunity to stop doing that. People don't want that. You don't want to be doing that. You're going to get fined. And also just don't do that. Most robocalls that I get are these finance companies, these lenders just bombard my phone with like, do you want working capital? Do you need working capital? Do you need this? We need to lend all this money and this thing. And I was like, why don't you just invest it in a bond or something? Why do you have to, it's like, obviously, why would you annoy me and that kind of thing? If you have a bunch of money, then put it someplace where it can make some interest and just shut the hell up. That's my, I don't know. That's my 2 cents on the whole thing. Oh, man. Neeman Labs, which kind of studies journalism, talks about this 2020 as the year that we're going to retire the news article as the default unit of journalism. Basically, it's a relic of, as they call it in their report, a relic of distribution, audience, and revenue models that's no longer function the way they used to. Let's see. So, and this is covered, by the way, if you go to NeemanLab.org, you can kind of see that story. It's been covered a few other media outlets as well. But let's check this out. So they say the one size fits all fits no one. It places a heavy burden on the reader, viewer, or listener to do the work of sifting through the story. Look at all that work that you have to do to read stuff. It sucks to have to read stuff. It really, to me, it sucks. It really, yeah. Good Lord, people. Is that where we are in society? Are we soon just going to get into the little floating chairs that they had in Wall-E, and we're all just going to kind of get fat and like watch video feeds of Costco feeding us, stuff that we need to buy and large or whatever? You have to put out like signposts at some point and go, are people that are saying, I like news, but is there a way that I could get it without having to read so much stuff? If that's the case, then we got a lot more problems in this society than all of us are aware of. That is, But anyway, Neeman Labs says you don't have to sift through the story, map it to other relevant content and information. The news story asks our audience to identify new information and skim over the old, to formulate the right questions and find the context they need to understand a new development. They also to rely on social headlines and teaser text to accurately assess whether a piece is worth their time. Now, I would agree with that. I think that headlines that are written by machines now, just designed to kind of trigger us, that's sort of where journalism falls flat to me, is the fact that when a human being writes a headline for a story, you want something that's going to entice the reader. When a machine writes it, they are using trigger words that they know will get you to click. One of those is helpful and valuable to a human being. The other one is insidious and sort of has a lot of kind of built-in creepiness and evilness in it, right? You got to be able to figure out the difference between that. Our humanity is kind of on the line if we can't figure that out. According to Neeman Labs, we're going to see forward-thinking outlets discard the news article in favor of more dynamic formats that place the individual at the center of the story and the news product. I don't really know what the hell that means, I got to say. But what they said, we'll better understand a person's shifting needs throughout the day and mold our stories and story selection to those moments. What do you need to do to understand somebody's shifting needs throughout the day? You need to what on them? Spy on them, right? What do we talk about in the first section? What do we talk about? We talked about people not wanting you to have that data. audiences will learn to trust us more, according to journalism, because we will transparently strive to serve them better and we will listen when they speak. One of the biggest reasons that people don't trust journalistic outlets is that all of them, more than 90-something% of our news outlets, are owned by 6 companies. There are 6 large corporations that run all of our news outlets, right? If you want people to trust more outlets, then you need to well, first of all, we need to pass a law that says that no corporation should be able to own news media, right? I mean, we used to have that law, and then they lobbyists paid a bunch of people off and stuff under the table so that the companies like Time Warner and Comcast and Disney could own all of our media. And then they could use it as like a 24/7 channel just to advertise their crap so that we will buy more stuff, right? That's the plan. Right, that's 100% of the plan, and of course they get involved in politics and those kind of things too, which we've kind of discussed. But honestly, just to contradict the Neeman folks here for a minute, if you want people to listen to you, then you cannot try to trigger them with stories that are not factual. When you make up stories about things and then get caught doing it and those kind of things, that's a deal breaker. That's the end of trust. And PR relies on news organizations to have their crap together, which is why so many of us in PR have had to move to other channels, because the news. I mean, you can't hit your star to the news media anymore. Lastly, winning is email actually. Email marketing analytics provider Twilio SendGrid has published its 3rd global email benchmark report. And basically, the report found that 95% of Gen Z and millennial respondents stated that their personal email, notably not their work email, is essential to their daily lives. And I encourage you to read that entire story. Email is still the way that a lot of marketing gets done. We talked about marketing being really bad, but the medium of email can still be extraordinarily viable for marketing, as long as it's great, as long as it's about their story, as long as it's awesome, as long as it's all those kind of things. It will continue to be great and awesome. Go to marketingland.com and check out Jennifer Cannon's story, Global Email Benchmark Report, for more information on that. And that is who's winning and losing this week, folks. Come on back, and I am going to leave you with some tips for doing great marketing in 2020.
Hi, I'm Tim Dolbear, the host of Sound Experience on Entertalk Radio. Each week, I talk with top professional audio engineers, producers, musicians, and the manufacturers that make the tools that we use in the studio each and every day. From capturing the perfect take to mastering your final release, and the tools and how the pros use them, we are going to dive deep into their process and learn from their experience. I look forward to you joining us each week on Sound Experience with me, your host, Tim Dolbear.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
Make this your vinyl night. I'm John J.R. Robinson, and every week, music creation comes alive through stories, experiences, and sounds when vinyl records filled our hearts and minds. My friends and I share our tips and techniques used in creation of iconic tracks for recording artists such as Michael Jackson, Eric Clapton, Quincy Jones, and Steve Winwood, to name a few. Vinyl has emerged hot, and the soul of vinyl defines art and passion which burns deepest at night. Tune in every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on EntertalkRadio.com.
This is Jackie Bertoni from Jackie's Groove. Come join me weekly on my journey through the music business as I take you behind the velvet rope, interviewing industry notables such as Al Di Meola, Michael McDonald, and Al Jarreau, to name but a few. Listen to their stories on being in the studios recording #1 hits and onto the stages throughout the globe. Allow me to be your music historian. You can hear me live every Monday at 2 p.m. and every Wednesday at 12 noon Pacific Standard Time or 24/7 on jackiesgroove.com. Ready to get your groove on?
May the best brand win with Scott Robertson's Music Biz Marketing Strategies. Now, here's your host, Scott Robertson.
Hey, everybody. Happy Friday. You've made it all the way to segment 3 of May the Best Brand Win on Entertalk Media, the undisputed leader in music biz talk. I am Scott. We just did winning and losing. Paul, what did you like from the cavalcade of winning and losing this week?
I think tampons in the male bathroom could be useful if you have a nosebleed. I think you were a little bit rushed to judgment too fast there.
Oh, sorry. It's the 0.00002% of the population could possibly make use of that.
Maybe start, you could do fight clubs in there. The tampons on there, if you bloody up some noses, get into fights in bathrooms, you could take care of it right there.
They're not thinking about how to use the bathroom in the correct way, obviously.
Yeah.
They're just using it as a way for people to relieve themselves when, obviously, it could be a gladiator arena as easily.
Yeah, and if your problem is the demasculinization of the male bathroom, then doing fight clubs in there, what better way to get it more machoed back up?
I want a hidden camera in the bathroom when men have to encounter a tampon machine for the very first time in their lives. I want to see. I want to see what happens. I want to. It's like watching monkeys, trying to make fire with sticks or whatever. I mean, it's like. Can you envision what that looks like in reality? Not in ACLU's reality, but
looking around. Like, am I in the right? Am I in the right? I see urinals, so I think I'm in the right, but the tampon.
That'll be the very first thing happens is when men see that is they're going to think they're in the wrong place.
Yeah, and just
they're going to be like
confusing lab faces, like.
No, you can't. You can't have a hidden camera in a bathroom, but point it at the machine or whatever, and or showing the sink by the machine, whatever. That would be gold, comedy gold. Mm-hmm. Honestly,
yeah. But by the way, you realize now we have an audio recording of you saying, "I would like to have a camera in the bathroom," that can be completely taken out of context. And then I just realized there's now also audio of me saying the same thing. So
that's right. Now, exactly. I can't ever run for office. People will be like, "Did you say that you think there should be a camera in the bathroom?"
They can make all sorts of deep fakes out of you.
Oh, I say enough crazy crap anyway. I'm like just wait a minute, and I'll say something wild. Believe me. You don't even have to splice it together with me.
Yeah.
You never know. Well, I think that one definitely wins the poor marketing thing. If you get a chance, like I said, I advise the audience, go check out ads that should be pulled on Twitter. The level of you'd just be shaking your head and going, I know that ad sucks. Why is that there? I know, and then, like the Chevy ads with like the focus group guy where he comes in and goes, and would you be surprised if it's a Chevy? It's like, ain't nobody buying that car. Just stop it. How many Chevys have you seen recently? Zero. It's like that, nobody buys that. Not here, not in California. Good Lord.
The toilet paper bears are always funny too.
Oh my God. I agree. I guess they just find some other way to do it.
I guess there's like a do bears shit in the wood kind of thing in there. Is that it?
that is exactly what they did at first. I think with the bears, and does a bear go in the woods? Yeah, he does, and then they've been running these ridiculously stupid ads for such a massively long time. It's like, find something. I know it's toilet paper, and I know that you're sitting around a table, and there's some people listen to this going, "Hey, look, I got to market toilet paper, and everything that's ever been said about toilet paper has been said, and I don't have a way to do it." But you know what? The job was dangerous when you took it. It's like, you know what I mean? You got to figure that stuff out.
The one that makes me like dry heave is I think the Lamisil one with that like little like fungus creature starts ripping up a toenail.
That you should add that to ads that hashtag ads that should be pulled.
I can't.
That
do
should
that
be
one.
in there. The toenail. Anytime you're talking about toenail fungus and you're doing it in a visual way, man,
where he like rips it up, like that's so gross.
You're right. I feel nauseous just talking about that.
I know, me
just
too.
At that. That's so terrible. All right. Well, let's get back to it. So I'm going to give you some tips, listening audience. We're going to give you some tips for great marketing right here. The title of this episode, by the way, is Why Everyone Deserves Great Marketing But Doesn't Get It. We've definitely talked about that every company deserves to have great marketing. We've certainly proven that everyone isn't getting it. And I'm going to give you some tips to try to keep you on the straight and narrow as you work on marketing for 2020. Let's say maybe you have to market some toilet paper and you said, look, we can't do the bears anymore. We got to do something else. What are we doing? All right. Number one, start with the story. Start with the story. Like I said, I'm a certified story brand guide. I can verify to you that all businesses do better with a story. In academics, it's called narrative marketing. Doing storytelling, making the audience the central character of the story, and creating a story all about them, all about them, your customers, and their needs, and making them the star of the story, the hero of the story, is really, that can make all the difference in what you're talking about, because instantly they're going to be interested in a story about themselves. It sounds really easy. It sounds really simple. It sounds like it's super obvious and everybody should do it. But do we need to go back and review my email box today? Should we go back and review it for the third time in the show? By this time in the show, I'm certain I've gotten a bunch of untargeted, garbage, crappy emails already, that are a combination of wildly desperate, it almost seems like, it seems like they're trying to convey and push a sense of desperation onto me. But I will share something with you. I've been done with my holiday shopping for a good long time now. I have no desperation when it comes to holiday shopping because I plan things out, and I am not that guy. So if you're sending me stuff and saying, Scott, there's only 5 days left, I handled it 20 days ago, so we're clear. It's like that's a problem for some people. That's not a problem for me. If you wanted me to be interested, maybe talk about my stuff and what I'd be interested in. Yeah. Anyway, it's done very, very rarely. My second tip, look for creative ways to engage people. Look at actor Ryan Reynolds. That guy is one of the most creative guys in marketing, and he doesn't actually work in marketing. If he did, he's dangerous. He's so good at what we do for a living, and so good. I mean, he runs a company called Aviation Gin as a side business. Obviously, he's a huge Hollywood actor, in Deadpool and a bunch of other things, obviously. But he runs a company called Aviation Gin. When we talked about on the show a few weeks ago, the Peloton was getting all the issues about the lady in the Peloton ad, and she looked like she might be abused, and they were taking a bunch of crap for buying an exercise bike for your already rail thin, model looking wife, that kind of thing, and just how it was like completely unrelatable and stupid. Well, Ryan Reynolds reached out to the actress that played the Peloton, the wife in the Peloton commercial, and brought him into a commercial for Aviation Gin. And you have to see it. It is absolutely brilliantly done, absolutely expertly, brilliantly done. There are hundreds of gin labels. There are hundreds of gin brands on the market. Ryan Reynolds finds new ways to get people interested, and it translates to sales for his company. Ironically enough, he does not really need sales for his company because he's already rich. However, he's one of the better selling gin brands that's out there because of his amazingly, consistently creative ways to engage. There are all kinds of ways to engage. The things that we talk about all year long on this show. Burger King, the way that they kind of troll McDonald's, the way that they, encourage you to go to McDonald's one day because McDonald's was giving all the proceeds to a charity. Very, very creative, alert ways to engage people around your brand and tell your story in a powerful way. From a PR standpoint, when you do that, you're able to, get some of that, news media love, and you're able to make, some of that stuff, amplify even further for the brand. Really, really, awesome lessons out there from companies like that. Definitely pay attention to Aviation Gym. If there's a creative new way to sort of engage people, Ryan Reynolds is going to be all over it. There's no doubt about it. Tip number 3, listen as much as you talk. Clearly, in a lot of bad marketing, there's no listening going on. They're just like, you should buy this. You should buy this. You should buy this. And people are like, well, that's not really my problem. So yeah, Ryan, I know. But did you know there's 5 days for Christmas? Did you know that? Look at that last chance. It's your last chance. Look, oh my God, it's your last chance. It's not my last chance. I'm good. But thanks for the, the help of trying to induce a panic attack for me. And a problem I don't have. Much appreciated. Listen. Marketing is about listening. These days, you can do market research very inexpensively. You can do social media listening all the time, and that stuff comes in handy. So many big brands in the world don't listen to their customers. They just sell, and they just, we have this wonderful creative approach, and yada yada yada, and we have this, we have this wonderful new launch that we're doing, and this kind of thing. Listen, people will tell you how they want to be served. They will tell you. Figure out what they're trying to tell you. Figure out what are their problems. In the story brand format, they talk about the story doesn't start until the character, the hero, has a problem. And that's very true. If you look at master storytellers like J.J. Abrams and people like that, you see one thing about J.J. Abrams is he plays with time, right? He starts the story in the middle of a problem, right? You come into the story and, man, there's a problem within seconds. Lost is like that. What happens? Instead of, you don't see Jack getting on the plane and going through security and he's putting his bags through and this kind of things. Hell no. In a J.J. Abrams story, he's laying on the beach. His pupils, go from huge to small. Boom, boom. He opens his eyes and there's a huge plane crash that's happened on the beach, and you're hooked. Why are you hooked right then? Because now there is a problem. All the characters, and especially that main character, has experienced a problem, right? So, again, make sure you don't know the problems if you're not listening. So, tip number 3, when we're talking about listen as much as you talk, the reason we're listening is we're trying to identify what is the problem, where is the pain, where can our company be useful to easing people's pain. Really, really important. Again, lots of marketers know this. So few of them use it. I don't know why you wouldn't, but they don't. So anyway, tip number 4. We've talked about it a few times on this show. I talk about it a lot. Don't be creepy. Use your conscience. Use your empathy for the audience. If you don't have a conscience and you don't possess empathy, talk to a small child in your life. Small children are very honest, and they will definitely tell you right from wrong, okay? They will definitely tell you what you should do and what you shouldn't do, okay? Don't be creepy. Don't use your marketing automation software like Marketo and HubSpot and all these as some sort of, justification for bothering people unnecessarily and creepily sending them messages. You're in the business to build relationships. If you can do it with one message, do it with one. If you can do it with something that attracts people in and doesn't actually bother them at all, even better. Figure out a way to do that. Really, really, really important stuff. I just think that a lot of these things aren't thought about. I had a company that contacted me and said, well, Scott, do you do marketing automation? I said, no, I don't. I'm against it. And they said, why are you against it? I said, well, because it makes it easy for us, the marketer, to send a bunch of crap that people don't want. And then and it makes it very, very easy for them to unsubscribe to us and for them to cut us out of their lives forever. And when you consider that every email address is probably worth $15-$20 per email, it's like when people are unsubscribing to you, you're losing money. You're welcome to the wonderful world of losing money. And don't do that. Don't do that. You don't have to give up. You don't have to have people unsubscribe to you. You don't have to bludgeon people over the head. Use the examples of the people that we've been talking about. We always use Apple as an example. Do you know who didn't email me today? Apple. You know who hasn't emailed me in like 20 days? Apple. When Apple has something to say, they say it. And when they don't, they shut the hell up. And ladies and gentlemen, that is a magical thing because I don't need it. It positions them at a higher level. They're like, I don't know. We don't. If you, I don't care how many days there are to Christmas. If you can find one near you, we go ahead and pick it up. And if you can't, we couldn't care less. We're gonna have a great Christmas with or without you. You know what I mean? That little bit of kind of cockiness and arrogance in the Apple brand is powerful. Works for them. Tip number 5, really important. Have fun and be fun. Marketing is supposed to be fun. I mean, we can make this stuff, so desperate sounding and things that the fun gets squeezed all the way out of it. I mean, like I said, look at Ryan Reynolds. That guy has fun. It's important to have fun. The whole thing is supposed to be fun, and keep that on your list. Make sure that you are having fun yourselves and that your stuff is allowing your customers to have fun. So what have we learned, folks? We learned the world is full of it. Bad marketing, awful stuff everywhere. There are not enough of us listening to this broadcast to stop it. But by doing a few simple things, our profession can be better. We can show people what marketing ought to be. That's what we need to be doing. That's it for me, folks. That's my last show of 2019. So happy holidays to all of you and your families. And we'll see you in 2020 to do some great marketing together. Have a great one. Bye-bye. You know what's all around you every waking moment of your life? Marketing. You're choking on it. I'm Scott Robertson, and when it comes to strategic PR, branding, and marketing, I've seen it all. And actually, I'm still seeing it because bad marketing never sleeps. Join me each week on May the Best Brand Win, right here on Entertalk Radio, and learn how to make the marketing for your brand unforgettable.
Hi, this is Tim Dolbear from Eclectica Studios. I'm a full-time mixing and recording engineer. I work with Grammy winners, labels, and indie artists, using state-of-the-art digital mixing and restoration tools and the very best in analog gear. Really, though, it's my ability to bring tracks to life and fulfill your vision for your music. This has made me sought after by producers and artists worldwide. So spend your time working on music and not chasing a mix down a rabbit hole. Go to timdolbear.com and check out our free one-song mix offer.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
This is Jackie Bertoni from Jackie's Groove. Come join me weekly on my journey through the music business as I take you behind the velvet rope, interviewing industry notables such as Al DiMeola, Michael McDonald, and Al Jarreau, to name but a few. Listen to their stories on being in the studios recording #1 hits and onto the stages throughout the globe. allow me to be your music historian. You can hear me live every Monday at 2 p.m. and every Wednesday at 12 noon Pacific Standard Time or 24/7 on jackiesgroove.com. Ready to get your groove on?